Hi, welcome to mediatorpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about mediation, negotiation, and collaboration. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I'm a valuation expert and divorce financial mediator in St. Louis, Missouri. I specialize in divorce and partnership disputes, but today we're going to discuss something a little bit different. And we're talking about parenting strategies and a guide of how you can maybe start to understand co-parenting styles during and after divorce with the infamous, the famous Cristin Terri. Now, Cristin is based in Cape Town, South Africa, but she's a certified divorce coach, a co-parenting specialist, a holistic counselor, a meditation guru teacher, and she also supports people going through the challenging process of divorce. Welcome, Cristin. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing really well, and you, Melissa?
Very well. A divorce coach is a little bit different. Can you just give us a little bit of like, how does that person interact with somebody during this process?
I love how you always bring up that you don't do the parenting plans because I don't do the finances. Don't bring me the finances. I'll deal with the kids and the emotions. I don't want to deal with the numbers. So we're a great pair here. But yeah, how a divorce coach helps is what you guys do is dealing with all the finances. Generally, people run straight to the attorneys, which you and I both have certain feelings about the attorneys. But you only really need counsel once you've kind of got an idea and gathered yourself around what's going on. You can't expect them to know what's going on. You need to figure out your own finances and figure out what you want for your kids. But you might not know what are the options out there. So working with a divorce coach, we really process the emotions with you. We help you with the documentation, of course, understanding what's next, but understanding there are options and alternate dispute resolutions and alternate kind of ways to approach co-parenting. Everyone thinks, oh, well, you get divorced, or not everyone thinks, but you get divorced, mom gets the kids, dad's a weekend dad. You know, gone is that. That is gone because men in this generation are more active parents and they want 50% of their kids. So there's not a lot around how can you shape these really great parenting plans that it just flows and go into more detail. Don't just focus on the big things. The more detail there is personally for me in a parenting plan, the less room for error. If you both sat here and you looked each other in the eye and you agreed on this, and it is, like you say, a good faith agreement. But you know, if you're focused on the kids, you want the best for your kids. And why wouldn't you want to know what are the best ways to do this and how can I structure this? And sometimes, a lot of the time, for the moms to let go of 50%, I coach them on, you know, stop looking at the loss and start looking at what can you do in that time and how can you propel yourself in the time that you don't have your kids, or take care of yourself, because fill your own cup up in that time. They don't think about that. They just see the loss because it's a huge fear. It's a huge loss, especially if there's another woman. Is this woman going to replace me? Or is there another man? Is this man going to replace me as dad? There's so many different things that go through our minds and worries with our kids. But structuring a parenting plan with more detail and using a divorce coach to actually lay out, these are some parenting plans that I've seen. This works for these parents because of their situation. This is an option that could work for you because, you know, you guys aren't that there's not a lot of conflict in this, or you two can't even sit in the same room. I would suggest let's do some parallel parenting rather. Let's minimize drop-offs. Let's minimize communication where possible. Let's get as much in that parenting plan agreed on in 1 5-hour sitting or 2-hour sitting that you need to be. And you don't have to come back to it because you guys have already sat with this heavy question. You've made a decision. If you do want to come back to it in 2 or 3 years or 5 years' time, great. Being flexible on that is fantastic, like I mentioned earlier. But, you know, the basic parenting plan leaves room for a lot of error.